and to segue, when you're trusting your gut, it's much easier to trust your gut when you've got an ideal client in front of you. But when you're taking on clients that, like you were talking about, when they only wanted to paint trees and they're, the things that are so restrictive, then it makes it much more difficult and it makes it even less easy, so to speak. So in the vein of it's not always easy, tell us a little bit about how it hasn't always been easy, and what you did to kind of get through that.
Well, like I said, for me, it's been a blessing to have my gallery out of my home because there's a lot less expenses and I can write off a lot of the business costs and whatnot in my phone and internet, and all these sorts of financial little technicalities that kind of add up into big things because then all of a sudden I don't need to sell quite as many paintings as if I had had a actual gallery space downtown and with a ton more expenses. And so there's all the financial aspects and the whole bit about attracting your ideal client. That's, I live in a small town and it's a tourist town. We get a lot of golfers here, and I'm 5 minutes away from the ski hill, and we have a ton of tourists. And then, when the bad economy hit, then all of a sudden the tourists kind of didn't start coming. They weren't coming as often as they had been, and so then sales took a nosedive, and in the art business especially, it's a roller coaster. So, I think a lot of people experience that in their businesses, but when it comes to art and with, I only sell original paintings, so it's not like I've got like all the other knickknacks and things to sell and alternate ways of making a living. So, it's a lot of it's about sacrificing and being willing to just do with less. And for me, it's not ever a sacrifice because art's what I love. So but that's not for everybody. It's not a lifestyle that everybody can handle. I'm a bit of a hermit, so I don't have a lot of a social life, and I don't, go out a lot because I just want to be at home and with my books and my paintings and doing my thing. So for me, that works, but that's not necessarily the way for everyone.
But it really illustrates the fact of, even when we say it's not easy, I mean, let's face it, being an entrepreneur is not easy. Being a business owner is not easy. Being a coach, a consultant is not easy. However, when you look at it and go, this is what I love to do, it's kind of like goes back to, I used to do work with people, I call finding your 0 point now. Originally started off in the passion realm, and there was questions like, what do you love to do? What makes you cry? What makes you laugh? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? Dig down deep into where things need to go. But granted, while I guess let me make this short. What I really want to pick out of there is that it is, while you said it right. It is a sacrifice, but it doesn't feel like a sacrifice because it's what you love to do and what you want to
Right.
do. And it's whether it's painting or whether it's running a business, there's definitely going to be ups and downs. So what do you when that happens, when the down times happen, when it's not always easy, give our audience something that you go through to help get you through those times.
Well, as I said, took a study with a business coach a few years back, and that got me into the whole social media thing. And it's about change and keeping up with the times and having to put myself out there and doing, and that's another bit about the whole challenging part for me is because I want to be in the studio painting, and now I spend quite a lot of time sitting here at the computer doing the Facebook and the newsletters and the emailing and all. So there are days when I get totally overwhelmed with the whole business end of things, and then I'm not painting, and so then there's this whole juggling act that I try to even out, and so that that I don't think I've quite got a handle on that whole equilibrium yet, because I definitely would like to be spending more. If people ask me all the time, do you paint every day? And I'm like, no. As much as that would be
Well,
nice,
I,
and
yeah, I was going to ask you a
yeah,
real quick question. You say no, and then you say it would be nice. If you Was there ever a time in your life where you did paint every day?
I would say yes. And then, but there too, it's important to get away from it as well. Like this, we recently were just painted the studio and the hallway and everything, so I couldn't be in there painting because we had all this construction going on. And so then once it was over, it's like, yes, I get to go in there, and then all the paint was just flying. So I think there's it's a catch-22, because if I was in there painting every day, I don't think the excitement, the ideas, and then having forced to be away from it is beneficial too. So there is that as well. So
Yeah, and that's what I
yeah,
was,
and then,
and I'm glad you said that because that's what I was kind of hoping you'd say, to get people to understand, look, you can have a passion for a business. You can love to do something and you can think you'd want to do it every day. But one of the things that makes it easier to be able to do it and be a success is the fact of not letting yourself get burned out and not, doing something every single day, until you eventually get bored with it. Now, I know there's some people watching who are going to say, I'd never get bored with it. I do this every day. And to those people, great. I applaud you. It is epic that you can do that. I know for me personally, there's things I've loved in my life. There's things that I've loved, beyond anything else as far as things go. And I know eventually there has to be there has to be some sort of break. I mean, I remember I was a very good bowler many years ago, and it was like watching bowling and going bowling and everything was bowling, bowling, bowling. But after a while, there has to be some sort of, there ends up having to be a mental break, or you get kind of tired and worn, you get tired and worn down by it, right?
well, and the other part of it, the other side of the story is that I do love to talk about art. And so today I'm sitting here talking with you, and so that's a totally different avenue of being able to talk about my art, and I'm thoroughly enjoying being here instead of at my easel today. So this is exciting as well. So I love to be able to share my art and share my love of art with people. So on that aspect, doing the social media part and the business end and being in touch with my clients, that's an exciting part of the whole business as well. So it's a toss up between the two of them, and I think there is an equilibrium between both sides, and I do enjoy both sides. So it's just, yeah, I think that's all. And it makes, I think doing things like this today, talking to you, is going to make my painting better. So,
Oh,
yeah,
epic. So see,
yeah.
since you love talking about art so much, we have to create a show for you around what was that guy with the big afro, the hair? What was the
Yes. Um,
oh,
oh, his name just left me.
but you know who I'm
His,
talking about. It was the
oh, jeez, it just left with
was
the
it
happy little trees.
it's Bob something or other? What wasn't
Oh,
it?
oh, man,
Let's see if we
it'll come
can
to me in a minute.
let's see if we can find it real quick. Artist. I bet you if I did artist, people watching the show are gonna be like, what is he doing? But I want to find this.
Everybody knows what you're talking about. Yeah.
Funny hair. There we go. That might actually bring it up. Nope, it didn't. What a bummer. I figured, hey, that would be, man, I'm gonna, he was on PBS. I thought it
He
was,
was.
oops,
Oh.
Bob Ross. That's it. It was Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, that's it.
Hey, we
Yeah,
need we
that's the
need good
one.
SEO
There
on the
you go.
show.
Let's do it.
But so yeah, so
Let's do it.
we need to create the Caprice Hogg show where you just nice calm voice and just like just nice and just
That's
painting
been
and
in the back of my mind. I've been telling you I've been needing to get into video.
definitely.
Yeah,
Well, Caprice,
it's
I think
on
that's
my
it.
to-do.
Exactly, and I think that's an epic way to kind of wrap up this show for today, folks. If you want to stay in touch with Caprice, which you should after seeing this, I'm gonna put her website. She's got a newsletter there. capriceartstudio.com/newsletter-archive.html. It's on the screen. I just love reading things. Caprice is an epic person, epic artist. You need to go out. There's going to be a link to her website in the show notes. You need to go out and check out her art. Like I said, I was thoroughly amazed when I went out and checked out. Caprice and I have been talking for a while, and I admit, Caprice, went out and just right before you asked about the show, I went out and checked the art. I should have done it sooner, but I'm sorry. But Fact of the matter is, once I saw the site and saw the art, I was thoroughly amazed. She's an epic artist. As you can also tell, she's an epic person, and she's got a lot of great information. And I'm a big believer in that we can learn from people that aren't in our industry and apply things to our industry to make our lives and our businesses better. So whether it's that you want to buy some art for Caprice, whether it's you want to reach out to her and just be in touch with her, follow her on social media, see what she's doing, after being with her for over an hour today, you should be able to tell by now that she's got some great information to share with you, not only from an art perspective, but little tips and tricks that she can help you, from a business standpoint. And I know, Caprice, you aren't a business coach and everything. I'm just doing this in a vein of sharing and learning from each other, because I'm sure there's people who will be able to bring and add value to your life. So Caprice, and by the way, folks, if you're just joining us now, I have to ask again, where have you been? It's okay. Go back and watch the hero's journey. Learn how someone who was born with muscular dystrophy, had back surgeries, and went through a lot of challenges, went through something very emotional that opened the floodgates and took her and led her down the path. And hear how, she had these feathers going on throughout her entire life, that she should be an artist, but it wasn't until a major 2x4 hit that she was able to start embracing that inner artist. And it's the same way with you. Maybe you've got a feather for being a coach or a consultant, or maybe a TV show host, and it isn't until you get some big hit upside the head that you realize, okay, now I've got to do it. So folks, Caprice, thank you again for being such an epic guest on today's show. Before I roll on out of here, is there any last words of wisdom you want to leave our audience with today?
I just want to thank you a lot, Chris, for having me on, and I've been really glad that we've connected, and thanks for doing the great work you're doing.
You're welcome. Thank you again for being an epic guest. Thank you, viewers, for being epic viewers. And until we meet again, make it an epic day. Raise your hand if you could use more clients. Now keep those hands up if you know that the best, most efficient, most effective way to attract your ideal client is to create great client attracting content that connects with your ideal client and makes it easier for you to convert them into paying clients. Now, whether you have your hands up or have your hands down, I invite you to join me on the Create, Connect, and Convert Online Summit. It's where I and other people who are real-world practitioners of creating great client-attracting content are going to share our secrets with you. The summit is online. It runs Wednesday, April 13th through Saturday, April 23rd. You need to go out to the web address on your screen at this point, register to reserve your seat. And remember, you want to join us on the Create, Connect, and Convert Online Summit, because creating content is how you spread your message, reach more people, and make a bigger difference.
To watch the rest of this epic episode now, click on the link below the video. Do it now, you'll be glad you did. Are you still here? What are you waiting for? Watch the rest of this epic episode now by clicking on the link below the video.